Hey guys, how's it going today? So as requested, we're going to take a look at EOS. It has been a while since we've looked at this coin. Do you guys remember the days when it was under 50 cents? I do. Do you guys remember the days when it was under a dollar and everybody was saying it's going to go back to 70 cents? I was one of them. And it never did, right? And I've made some ridiculously crazy EOS predictions in November when I was much more active, right? Do you guys remember some of these guys? Man, they were scary, accurate predictions, right? This is back in the day when I used to do much more setups, right, like this, but I don't have as much time anymore. So I just more so put them in a video and hope that people can also figure it out there. So this was really scary, like how accurate majority of them were, right? And I made so many predictions over here as well. These are the ones that I kept that are right. So I nailed this buy zone as well here, and all these targets pretty much all nailed from way back. I even predicted this zone right here for a correction zone as well. And I don't think I really. Oh yeah, I predicted this one as well. This one was a decent one here for the. I counted the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this one came I think like maybe 5 cents away from it. Yeah, I mean it came to like 191 about. That was awesome there. So yeah. And before I get started, guys, I would appreciate it if you guys took the time to maybe create an account on steemit and also upvote it. Um, you guys don't have to, but I would definitely appreciate it, because I'm going to be blogging on there a lot as well. And for the people that don't like to watch my 1 hour videos, you can just read a very simplified version of it, and you might even get the gist of it as well. And I'd appreciate if you guys can like, subscribe, and share as well, because I'm definitely trying to do something awesome for the community. And it goes both ways, right? We support each other, guys. And let's face it, these videos also benefit me as well, right? Ha! Who's that selfless, guys? Who's gonna do something for free on their own time in this day and age? I'm just kidding, guys. I would definitely help you guys out in a heartbeat, and I try to respond to as many people as I can. And I'm taking requests as well, even on the coins that I'm not trading. Though Neo is one of those coins that I will be holding for a while, or that I will be accumulating very, very soon after this correction phase, right? Sorry, not Neo, EOS. It's definitely a hot coin. But the reason why I'm doing a lot of these TA videos as well is because it benefits me, guys. I keep a tracker of the coins of all the TAs that I'm doing actually, and I think of it as like a pipe, right? Think of it as a funnel, right? As like a cone. Think of it as like a cone where as it gets narrowed, right? Think of a cone. Okay, I'm gonna explain to you guys some business concepts, like in any type of management where you have to generate leads, right? And you have different layers. Relate this to trading as well. You have different layers, right? Right here. For example, in this phase right here, you might have tons of one like just you might have lots, right? It's bigger because it represents a bigger area. Just finished 5 wave uptrend. I'm just giving you guys an example. I do mine a very specific way, which I'm not going to be sharing because we all have to generate our own. So this one, for example, just finished wave A. This one could be something like wave B finished, or wave A finished, wave A finished, about to start B, or something like that for this one. I'm just giving an example in this stage there. And then in the next one, it could be like, smaller wave C hit or something like that, or wave C about to finish, just whatever fits your criteria. And then the next one, that could be a crucial one. It could be impulse up or something, impulse A starting. And then the very last one here, like I can't fit it in there, but the very last one could be like a motive wave, like in motive wave process, right? However you guys wanna layer it, because then you wanna have it always flowing down this pipe, right? So the ones that are like much further then when you're ready to actually take a position are like higher in the funnel, right? But you got lots of these, and you're just constantly generating leads and banging out these TA, right? If you're a technical analyst, you're banging out these TAs, you're trying to get these leads, and then you're trying to filter the ones from the top layer here to the ones in the bottom, and then this one here gets filtered to here. When wave C finishes, the impulse is starting, and then motive wave in process, and you want to get to the ones in the bottom the most, right? The ones where the impulse motive wave is in process, because you want to ride these waves, because you've been waiting the entire time for everything that just finished wave 5 to get to the bottom here in the motive wave. So this is why, guys, I'm also doing these TA, because it definitely benefits me as well, guys. Who's that selfless? I'm just kidding, guys. I just felt like making that voice again. So yeah, it's gonna help me as well. But at the same time, I've had a really awesome 2017 years, and I've had ups and downs, right? Just in life in general, right? And I hope that I can be of help to people down the road as well. And I've received some good help from family and friends, etc. Gone through some pretty good and bad things, but everything we take it as a lifelong lesson, right? And I've definitely gained a lot in terms of crypto, and in terms of profit wise, as you guys have seen from the last half of the last year, 2017 there, right? I made some pretty redonkulously accurate calls. Also made some really bad calls, but and I was trading coins that I thought had profit and potential for a long time, like Omize Go, 50 cents. 50 cents! Who gets Omize Go at 50 cents? Kept that bad boy till about $13.50 back in my investing days. Who invests now? Doesn't everyone just scalp like Fibonacci? No, guys, don't ever scalp like me, okay? It's a bad idea. And yeah, like I've been trading Ripple. I mean, I held Ripple since, like, I don't tweet all of my, all of my longer term holdings, which I did have a tiny bit of. Tiny bit to me is still a pretty large amount to most people, I guess. But I definitely held Ripple from like 22, and I sold that guy at 28 or so. But I bought back in like around 34-ish. 34 cents I'm talking about, okay, guys? And I sold it like at $1.90 though, so whatever. And I held EOS for a little bit as well. I held ETP, and when people, I just don't want to get into the conversation with people, and people are like, "What are you holding long term?" I just say nothing online, but of course I'm gonna hold some things. It's called a hold and forget strategy, right? That's why I've got two different accounts there on bitfinex, and yeah, like, but of course I'm mainly playing on a scalping account as well. So, anyways, let's get started really quickly. I want to get into Dash. I want to get into Dash because it affects everything that we do here, okay? Am I on the daily here? Okay. Yeah. A Dash made this expanding diagonal, right? Where it formed a baseline down in here like that. And then what a lot of people like to do is when this expands here, they just keep extending it like that, right? And if this ended up breaking out, a lot of times is we try to find symmetry with angled and measured moves, right? Angled and measured moves. That one was incredibly hard to predict, right? That one was incredibly hard to predict. I was only to predict about this one over here. This one over here around the 535. If you guys remember this prediction of mine right here, I predicted that one to kind of the nose, to 540 to 582, right? That's how I was. Do you guys know how I was able to predict this? Let me show you how I was able to predict this, because you guys need to understand very well, okay, the practices and the methods that can work in hindsight. This is not just me pulling stuff out of my butt, okay, guys? I want to show you guys proof in the pudding right now, okay, right here. Proof in the pudding right here. How I did this. How did I know that it was going to hit between 540 and 580 at that specific point first, okay? Right here. Oh, I'm actually looking at the wrong one. I meant that. How did I know it was going to hit 540 to 580? Right around here. Right? Look right here at the high. This is right between 540 and 580. Here's the 580 range. Here's the 540. Really, guys? How did I know? And this relates to EOS. I swear that it does. How was I able to predict 540 to 582 when it was still only $416, right? I'm going to show you guys how I did it for Dash so you guys can learn how I did it, and we're going to apply it to EOS. Because what we do is we look for, okay, think of this, guys. If everybody had a reason to why something was true, and they had a proof for why something was true, and there were a million reasons for why something was true, and it stays true for as long as these reasons cannot be disproved, right? But now all of a sudden a proof comes up that can disprove something, right? A theory, like a myth buster, for example, okay, where everything was proven to be true but now all of a sudden it is untrue, right? It's a disproof is what they call it, right? So if something is proven to be true in some cases, right, it can definitely hold true in many cases as well, right? And that's how you refine a strategy until you prove it to be untrue to the point where it does not work often, right? Then just forget about it because it's not worth remembering. Does that kind of make sense? So here I drew this just like that. I drew my channel and I was very meticulous about it, okay? And I just took where it bounced off of here. And I did something like, actually no, I didn't do that. I took the average of this line, my mistake, and I did it upon the breakout. This one right here. To the first point of the breakout, along the average of that line, right here, to the very top where the breakout reached, right there. Just like that. And then I simply brought it over right here, guys. Right there, like that. That is how I was able to derive my target to the nose, right? But never did I know that it was going to make a gigantic wave after that, right? That one was really unpredictable. I mean, I should have been able to predict it because I should have taken this wave one there, right here, and then I should have taken Fibonacci, right? You should have taken at least, but I was conservative. And I also said in that video for Dash, oh, it's going to be slightly higher than here. But most people, what they would do is they would take a Fibonacci level, like in Hygen's video. He said he was going to get to the $700-800 range, and he was right. But never did people think that it was going to get to the 261.8 region. Never did people think it was going to get to the 361.8 region. Do you guys know how extended this wave is? Do you guys know what the cool thing about this Dash thing going up is? The cool thing about it is that this is only the third wave, guys. Wait till the fifth wave. Do you guys see my Dash analysis? It's going to go up to like $2,050. Now, without further ado, we're going to get into EOS, guys. I hope some of this stuff is starting to stick, okay? I really do. My microphone's probably a lot better. I apologize. I was using Wi-Fi. Now I'm just using a direct cable instead. Okay, guys. Now we're looking at EOS, okay? First thing we're going to do is acknowledge a few things. Acknowledge that this is not an impulse wave up. We're going to count that as an ABC corrective wave up, okay? All to over here. It would not be fair to count this as an impulse wave up. It would be more fair to count this as ABC. You guys want to see some crazy stuff with EOS, huh? You guys want to see how long I've been charting this and how well I know it? 4-hour chart. I know this by memory, this chart. I was playing EOS like a champ. In December, I wasn't around, guys. I wasn't around in December, so I didn't really get up to play a lot of the uptrends, but like under $2, woo, was I ever playing it. Okay, where does it meet on average? Meets on average around right there. So where are the most relevant lines? Probably this one right here. Right? You guys need to familiarize yourself with the patterns of EOS. If you don't know the patterns, then you don't know the coin that you're trading. You need to be familiarize yourself with this because this is a game. You gotta learn all the moves that she has. You gotta learn, if you want to master a coin, like, you gotta know how she behaves, how she handles herself, what kind of retracements she likes to make. Because then, once you know this, her skill sets, right, then you can easily be able to make predictions. What looks more accurate to you guys? Just this one, where it makes a contact with a few points here, or maybe this one right there, where it makes contact with all of these? This one a little bit less. I'd probably say this one right here, okay? That one right there. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna draw a box with my favorite drawing tool here. We're gonna draw, actually, where is it here? Right here. A price tool right in between the 55 EMA to the bottom right here. About a box that fits right here inside of this wedge. Okay? Now I am going to take this box out here. I am going to put it right here upon the breakout of the apex. Okay? Now I'm going to draw a horizontal ray. And we're going to say to ourselves, hey, could this actually make a measured one-to-one move? Could this actually make an exact measured one-to-one move where this wedge is shaped right in here to about right there? Could it act as a baseline support? Let's zoom out and see. What do you guys think? Did it act as a support? Yes, it sure did. That is what you call the power of a measured move, guys. It made an exact measured move, okay? Pretty much. It pretty much made it, one can argue, might have gone down to 49 cents, right? But that, nevertheless, has acted as a ridiculously good support, right? You guys want, next step. What did I call after that, guys? Do you guys remember? I remember. I called a lot of goodies, okay? We're going to clear all that up to show you that this little guy likes wedges. What is that little guy? Oh, I really like wedges. I love to wedge. You guys even heard it from EOS himself. He just loves to wedge, guys. This guy's such a little wedger. You're such a little wedger. Okay, so let's zoom in. Right, you guys really need to calm down sometimes, okay? Okay, so now we see this part. This is the part where I called, let's see if I have it. This is the part where I called, what were we at there? I might have called $1.45 or something. Nope. I don't think I have it here. I don't have all of them. Yeah, I don't have all of them, but I called this one earlier, right? Yeah, we'll get to it. It doesn't really matter. That's not the point, okay? So here, I'm going to show you guys the exact same thing. We're just going to see this wedge in here, right? That's forming, which was very visible. Okay, we're actually going to go wick to... Yeah, we'll go wick to wick. We'll get all of it here. And then we will take, you know, another line. Go wick to wick for this one. Because there's, you know, why not? Get the perfect average here, okay? Just like that. We're going to draw a target box right here, but where the 55 moving average is. And make sure that this is right inside of it. Now what we're going to do is drag it to the apex point of the breakout, right in the middle, around there, and see if it hits it. Right? And surely enough, it does. It hits it with precision. So at the breakout is where you would really do it. So this is a measured move again, right there, right? So then what you're doing is you're taking a measured move of the size of the wedge in there, and you're also taking a Fibonacci extension as well of 1-to-1, right? You're like, oh, this can make a 1-to-1 extension, right? 1-to-1 extension, and this is the wedge range with the target. So then you, as soon as this breaks out, you know, you try to catch it during the consolidation or upon the breakout. You stick to your 1-to-1 target, and maybe you want to stick a little bit less than the target of 1-to-1 ratio of the size of the wedge. And then you go yourself into a nice long position right from there, or before that, you go into long position before that, and you would have targeted a minimum for a 40% gain, which is the one that I called, guys, on my, I called that one on my Twitter there. So here it consolidated, right? Oh man, I wonder how many of you guys got in on that. Here it consolidated, right, between like under 140-ish, and here's the one, guys, where people made a lot of money on it. I told people to buy in between 135 to 145, right? 135 to 145, and the target was around 182 to 238. And that was right around here. Did you guys see that? 182 to 238, okay? That was the target right around here where I suggested for people to buy. I'm going to clear this. Around 135 to 145, right? And then I suggested for people to ride it up to 235, I believe, up to there. So if you guys had gotten to, and I made so many of these EOS calls, it was ridiculous last year, like maybe 5 in a row, back to back. I got one wrong, I think, out of the 5. So, you know, even if you targeted my minimum one there, just to give you an example, my minimum was 182, right? Even if you targeted a minimum of 182, you would have made yourself a 30% profit with my stop loss there, I think 130 there. So that was some really nice plays. So what we're learning from here is that it makes very nice measured moves, right? Very nice measured moves. Now, the thing about EOS is that it's done its wave, guys. It's done its wave right now, or it's done its first corrective wave in here. And out of every single coin right now, it's actually the most bullish coin out there right now. More bullish than Bitcoin, believe it or not. It's way more bullish than any coin that I've done a TA on, okay? And I'm going to explain to you guys why it is the most bullish coin I've done a TA on as well. So, first of all, every corrective pattern that we're seeing is doing something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Sorry, I'm a little bit distracted right now. I'm actually trying to do laundry at the folks right now because I'm visiting anyways. I've been here a lot. It's super nice here. It's so much food. So anyways, here's a typical ABC correction, right? And lately, all that we have been seeing are wedges, right? We've seen wedges like that, which is a symmetrical wedge is undecided of which way it could go, because a symmetrical wedge like that, sometimes we rely so much on the support holding that if it doesn't hold, it ends up becoming a descending triangle, and if that one doesn't hold, then eventually it becomes even worse than that. Like a good consolidation is like a flag like that, right? I guess it can hold to something like that as long as it doesn't become like parabolic and move down so much. But you know, those are the 3 main types of consolidation patterns. And sometimes we see a very bullish one, which is rare now. We see a bullish one like a descending or ascending triangle like that, okay? And that comes in the form of an ABC, which is very truncated. It comes in A, and it comes in like basically B and then C like that, right? And then if we get a fourth point there where it fails to break out, fourth point failed to break out becomes a D, and then it becomes an E point like that, right? Or even if it becomes, in this case here, if it fails to break out a B, right, and then there's a C, right, and then a D, and then an E for any of these shapes like that. So if we actually look at Bitcoin, it's actually very, it's in a shape where it just couldn't break out of it yet, right? It's making so many. But if you look at these ones in particular, it is incredibly bullish because it's breaking out of it right now. And it's the only coin out of every single coin that I've seen that has broken out of it. But first of all, we gotta go through the Elliot wave count here, okay? We gotta go through the Elliot wave count. And the way I count it, it's pretty simple. I count this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If that's not it right there, then maybe something like this right here. Or actually this one makes way more sense. Like that. So if you go on the daily chart, it also looks like that as well, right? So right, that looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the reason why it also makes a lot of sense is, watch this, guys. It likes measured moves, like I mentioned. As soon as these, where is it here? We're formed. Watch, when we take from here to here, okay, to here, where we saw it uptrending, it was actually really easy to predict those moves, right? So as soon as wave 1 formed here, wave 1 formed from the 50-cent range to the super duper 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 bullish, right? We had targets already. If you look at fib extension, this one retraced only 382, one of the most bullish coins that I've ever seen on the first wave like that. Super duper bullish. Now the second wave here, regardless of where you call the top here, retraced to just past poking with the wick through 382, not even touching the 582. Therefore, because of super bullishness like that, we will assume that at the end of wave 5, people are still leveraged in a long position, and crashes like this are bound to happen. As I've said in every single one of my videos, right? We have seen on the 5th wave, it crashes like this, and I wish I got some at $3. Imagine getting some that day, guys, at $3, and you played with like 20 grand, or even like 50 grand, or even 100 grand, whatever, and then shot back up to $9. You would have made yourself triple your money. So this is very bound to happen. And what we see right now here, another sign of bullishness for EOS is this, okay? How do you know something is parabolic, okay? Right? If you draw a straight line like this, a straight line, that is a straight line, right? But what is a circle, for example? Right? Think of a circle, and what is a circle? A circle is a bunch of tangent lines that are cut across it. And a circle is not actually round, it's just so many cut tangent straight lines that it appears to be round, right? Like, that's the theory of a circle, basically. And if you think of a parabola is no different, right? If we keep drawing it angled a little bit more and more each time, right? Like, I'm not going to go to that extreme length, but if we keep drawing it angled more and more every single time, just something like that, right? That ends up becoming a parabola, right? Do you know what I mean? It parabolically moves upwards like this. Sorry. It ends up, it ends up parabolically moving upwards, right? Like that. So let's say I just drew a bunch of lines here for these guys, like this, okay? I mean, if I drew one just straight up like that, connecting these most recent lines, well, the first line that we see is obviously a baseline support, right? Just like that. And then the next connecting line that we see is this one that I drew. And then the next one that we see is actually like this one right here, right? And then the next one that we see is actually this one, like that right there. So when you guys think about taking a moving average of it, right, just in general here, you can just clearly see that this guy here is moving parabolically upwards, right? Do you see what I mean? That is how we know that this is also on a strong uptrend, just by looking at these candles. But now what we must understand is that the volume is picking up drastically right now, right? The consolidation phase, if we look at the consolidation phase on the 4-hour chart over here, the consolidation phase is during, right, is really low during, sorry, the volume is very low during consolidation phase, but look at it during an uptrend impulse move phase. Do you guys see the difference right there? It's pretty big, right? That's this right here especially. Then we go to a daily chart, right? We go to a daily chart, and if we try to count the Elliot wave on the 4-hour chart here, I mean, that's cool. So this originally made this shape, okay? Originally made this shape like that, right? That's the shape that I see that it broke out of the wave 4, and it wasted absolutely no time doing it at all. That's what I liked about it the most. So what a lot of people might argue is this right here, that this is an invalid wave count, okay? Some people might argue that this is an invalid wave count, and then they might say something like, well, let's talk about this actually. They might say, well, this is wave 1 here, this is wave 2, that's wave 3, that's wave 4, right? And then there's a wave 5 going up. Okay, I understand that you guys could say that this is wave 1 right here, this is wave 2, this is wave 3, this here. Okay, why is it retracing to the wave 1 territory that much? You got to ask yourself that first of all, right? And you're saying 5 can be somewhere up there right now, right? Or higher. Okay, that's what you guys might want to argue. Now, okay, I remember that argument. Now let's talk about it, okay? If we call this right here wave 1, and that was 2, 3, that was 4. Oh, sorry, we call this, how did I do it again? Wave 1, wave 2, this is 3, this is 4, around there, and 5. Some people might argue that, okay? Well, so this one could be valid as well, if we look at it, right? It could be valid as well because I guess this could be wave 1. Wave 1 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that could be a valid count as well. Really, really big third subwave, but I don't like how here, right? This is basically when Bitcoin reached its all-time high, right? On like out of 18, 19-ish K, and then it tanked on around December 21st, 22nd. And every coin was on the 5th wave after that as well. It was on the 5th wave, and I can't but help think that this one here is the 5th wave. It is the 5th wave because this one has the biggest consolidation area, right? Therefore, to me, it has to be the 5th wave. So I couldn't even argue and see it from the other perspective. Like the way I see this one as well is a typical ABC correction so far. All of that is B, right? This is 3, pretty much. and a really extended fifth wave. I have no choice but to call it this for now. It was supposed to be an extent. Hold on. Yeah, this is a hard one to even count for Elliot wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, even 5. This could be A, B, C. Right, some people might be saying that this is an A, B, C in here. So my count would be like this right here. My count would be 1, 2, there, 3, 4, and 5. And 5 couldn't even make it any more lower because wave 3, it's kind of been like that for every single coin, right? Where wave 3 was so strong that wave 4 lacks the sufficient downward, or wave 5 lacks the sufficient downward force to make any other gains, right? I see this like this right here, okay? And then I see this as an A, B, C, D, E correction in here. An A, B, C, a D, and an E right there. This ends up wedging to make a typical B correction, right? It wedges inside like that, okay? See this A, B, C, D, and E? It's very common in a B correction. And if we can count 5 waves on this 2-hour time frames, then we can also count 5 waves in here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Therefore, if we have counted all of those A, B, C, D, and E like that, then this one indeed just finished off at a simple A, B, and a C correction. A very, very truncated C. So usually what happens now is this, okay? Usually what happens now is it does an A, B, C, D, E correction. Okay? Whoops. So this one's wedged kind of like that right now, in this kind of pattern. Well, you know what? This would be the best way to draw it right here, right? Just the way I'm drawing it right here. But sometimes this can happen, okay? You don't know that it's going to happen until in hindsight. Bitcoin most likely fell down over here a lot, right? You really don't know. And sometimes you don't know if that's actually going to be the pattern that's going to play out. People would have assumed this pattern would have played out. But of course, when it hit this bottom over here, well, actually, it would have been this right here. No, in hindsight, this would have made the A, B, C, D, E pattern, right? And then people play the breakout, whether it goes up or down, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So that was A, there, you know, A was all the way there, but I'll draw it here. And this was B, C, D, and E, right? And this one formed incredibly fast. All the other coins are really far behind right now, but this formed very fast, and Bitcoin fell. So, but sometimes what ends up happening is this, guys, okay? What ends up happening is in the final stages, it ends up forming like a channel, and you guys need to recognize that. So what we see is a channel like that forming as well, right? So sometimes we have to recognize that it's going to break out of the channel eventually. Do you know what I mean? So we had this right here, right? We had this right here as the support, pretty much. Actually, you know what? That's not true at all. I wouldn't have drawn it that way. This is not a favorite way of mine to draw it. A favorite way to draw it would probably be on like a 4-hour chart or something like that. Like that. Either way, it breaks down and it does something called a throw over, right? A throw over. And what a throw over is it depends on how you draw it first. So let me get this straight. If you drew it like this on a 2-hour time frame, your support lines would be like this. And then your A, B, C, D, E would be very different. It would be like this, right? A is all the way down there, just to be clear again. And then E. And you would be betting on it going up, and you'd be wondering why it didn't, right? Now, If you drew it on a 4-hour time frame, 4-hour time frame, you'd be looking at it very differently, because your slope would now be like that, and that would be a more appropriate way to do it, in my opinion. So now what you have is you have an A, B, C, D, and E didn't even try to make a touch, really. Kind of did, kind of didn't, but there you go. That's A, and you have your B, actually. A, B, C, D, and E, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, E didn't even make a touch. There you go. So now we have A, and this is your B, where it has A, B, C, D, and E, and your C, just like that. This one actually made a very simple zigzag with your 1, 2, 3, 4, and your 5 in there. And that was your corrective pattern for the wave 1. So because this one finished wave 1, guys, and it already finished wave 2 right here, we are now officially starting wave 3. And we're going to apply some of the same theories that we did to EOS as well, okay? We're going to apply some of the same theories to EOS with an expanding diagonal with the most current and the most relevant support lines that we see right now first. And the most current and support relevant lines that we see right now is this right here. Now the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to use a method of Fibonacci retracement combined with a trend angle analysis. This is going to be my weapon of choice. We're going to choose Fibonacci beginning around the 40-50 cent range. Actually, I want to be accurate. 49 cents. I want to be super accurate. Whoops. 49 cents. I'm going to choose the very peak right there. I want to choose an average of the flash crash. Do you guys think it's really fair to count the flash crash from $10 to $3? I don't think so. Maybe we'll choose one right around. Okay, you know what? We will not count it, but we'll count it up to the support line right here where there's activity. How about that? Where there's activity and where it bounced off of. Now the next thing that we do is we follow the same rule that we did for Dash, okay? We take the beginning of your wave 1, pretty much beginning of wave 1, and we can draw a mouth like that, but I probably prefer to draw it down here. This is the beginning of wave 1, right there. Prefer to draw it with a mouth like that, and let's actually not count the wick. Or maybe we should. No, this is perfect, just like that. This is pretty good as well. We want to make sure we get the best average possible to get the best possible target. Just like this right here. Now we are going to take where it first exploded, okay, to where it first, where it first bounced at the very beginning of the uptrend, to exactly where the uptrend first reached its peak, right around there, not counting the wick. Actually, yes, counting the wick. Who am I kidding? Counting the wick, like that, okay? I'm just going to extend these lines out like that and use the same method. That is incredibly satisfactory to me now. All right. I have to extend this line out as well. Like that. As much as possible, because it's going to be long. And I'm going to keep to my one-to-one retracement method right here. I used it right around there. Now I'm simply just, am I happy with it? Am I happy with this trend line? Yes, I'm fairly happy with it. And now I'm simply just going to move it over to where we first broke out of it. Broke out of it and bounced. So I'd probably say around right here of the third wave. Okay. Just around, actually I'm not doing it right. I gotta be using the wick. the maximum distance like that. So what do you guys think of this so far? Oh guys, you know what? My mistake here. I counted it wrong. This is actually A, B, C in here. This is A. This is all B in here. My mistake. This is not an impulse move up. And C ends right around there. And we can also, yeah, that definitely makes a lot more sense to me now in here. The reason why is because wave 3 is often the longest and is never the shortest, okay? So because wave 3 is often the longest and never the shortest, and our target is actually about at least a 1-to-1 extension here. Whoops. This is drawn wrong as well. I'm drawing a lot of things wrong right now, guys. Okay, do you guys remember in Dash? Actually it was right. Do you guys remember on Dash that actually, I was gone for about 20 minutes. I forgot what I was talking about. Okay, remember on Dash how right here I target a minimum ratio. We had this wedge right here. Okay, we got this where we have this expanding flat, expanding diagonal, and then I target a 1-to-1, but then we actually ended up hitting 161.8. So I was confused there earlier about what was going on with EOS because I couldn't figure out, and then now I figured it out. Okay, so we would first of all go for a 1-to-1 target ratio extension. And we're not going to use the wick. I don't think I want to use the wick for that, okay? Just to get a better idea. That's satisfactory to me right now. This coin's going to give me some immense profits, guys. Like, we're talking like a lot. We're talking like 200% profit, like 100% profit, like doubling your money, okay? This is why you guys need to pay attention to this while I'm doing this. So here, while I did that, right? Just gonna move it over right here. I'm gonna go to a 1-to-1 extension. All of it to where there's most price action around there where it bounced off of. So off of a 1-to-1, guys, first of all, just 1-to-1 alone. Like, we're looking at $19 in a fairly short term, right? We're talking about $19.19, like right here where you will find resistance, say like above $18 to 19.20-ish or 19.18-ish. 18 will be a round number, okay? And then like on Dash, we ended up finding tiny bit of resistance there, and then we broke out, right? Right, guys? We broke out of it. So because we broke out of it there, and we actually ended up hitting 161.8, right around up here, what makes us think that we won't be able to hit those targets, right? This is the wave 3. Wave 3 is often the longest and never the shortest. So I do believe, guys, that we have a chance of hitting even like $38 later. But right now, guys, I'm pretty yeah, like we do have a chance to hit very high numbers, even $40, $47, I'm guessing, down the road. But like, long term or just short term for this wave right here that's upcoming, we're guessing a minimum target, guys. A minimum target we're gonna say is 1918. We're gonna shoot for minimum target 1918, and the second target is 2662. You guys have it, 1918 and 2662. Those are my targets based on using Fibonacci extension and also trendline analysis. That was a heck of a lot of analysis, right, guys? This was one of the harder ones to do. It wasn't that easy at all. It was a hard one to do. There was a lot to figure out here, but I think the puzzle is solved. So right now, guys, like we're only on this right here going up, okay? We're on wave like that. Actually, this might even be the first subwave going up still. Like, wave 1. Wave 1 could be going something like that. Wave 2 here, and then wave 3 would be the one we find resistance at. 3, and then 4, we hover around it, and then 5, we just shoot to that one up there. Like, that's a possibility, right? just saying if we got an extended fifth, you never know. The third wave could even end up right here, just as a simple one-to-one correction, which is not likely, right? This one could be considered wave one over here, right? This could be considered wave three, maybe that's correcting right now, right? Three somewhere here, and then we get a really extended fifth wave all the way up there, right? That's a possibility as well. But what I am certain of is that this is all of the wave one correction, and that this is wave two correction, and that we're reaching higher highs. Therefore, we have to assume it is an impulse move up that has broken through, right? It is not a WXY correction. A WXY correction would not be getting a higher high than this one over here. It'd be getting a lower low. Therefore, we have no choice but to assume that it is an impulse move up. Some people might argue and say, this is wave one, this is wave two, this is wave three, this is wave four, this is wave five. Definitely not, guys. That's not it, because wave three is way too short there of all of them there. This has to be an A, this is probably a B, and this is a C. Just like that. If not, then this is an A, and that's a B, and this is a C right here. So the two choices are basically, is this one wave three right here? But I'm just giving you guys a general idea of how it can be, right? So it could be like this maybe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First target is still 19, 18, guys. And then the second target, and then, or could it be something like that, right? Where we bounce off of it, and who knows, and we just keep going like that. So there's different variations of waves that we have to count, and you always have to have alternations of them. You have to have alternations, you have to have different wave counts as well to make sure that you know where it's possibly going to fail. But one thing we can say is that we have found some massive support right here, right? The volume is picking up again, as you guys can see. Like, take a look on the volume. The green bars are starting to heavily pick up, not go down, pick up. This was the consolidation phase. This is not a B move upwards because it's just too strong right here. This is an actual impulse move up. Why is it doing what it's doing right now? Well, why is it doing that? It looks like it's an impulse wave, you know, where it's going like that, it's going like that, it's going like that, it's going like that, and it's doing something like that, and that's a subwave. They are just subwaves, right? So right now, I would highly recommend people to take a look at this and just see how it's going to play out, right? Because even if you counted it, if that's subwave 1, right, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, that would automatically mean, right now, this is beautiful that this is 4 waves, right, and there's still another strong 5th wave somewhere happening incredibly soon, right, happening soon, and that could also mean that that's just the first subwave of the 5 waves going up as well. So regardless of the path that it takes, the targets stand based on the formation of wave 1 already, and also based on the formation of wave 2's correction. And those don't change, guys. However it gets there, it makes its own path. But the fact that this is one of the most bullish coins that I have done a technical analysis on and have seen in the past 6 months, there's obviously a lot going on behind it right now, technology-wise. I have no idea what is going on in the fundamental world at all. I couldn't even begin to lie about it or even take a guess. I just know that EOS is a competitor for Ethereum, right? That's just what I hear right now. And yeah, that's kind of all that I know, guys. It's the next Ethereum. So other than that, I see from the charts itself that it is a super bullish freaking coin. It is so bullish, guys, and the range is unbelievable, guys. It is not a coin you can even like really scalp because there are no long wicks. The walls are the candles themselves are not wicks. They're all bodies, right? They're all strong bodies with strong levels of support or resistance or strong buys or strong price or strong one direction price action. What I'm finding is that there's not much of a struggle. If there's consensus to go up on EOS, according to all indicators, then it is going to go up and no one is even going to sell it. You'll barely see any red in the level 2 order books. You'll only see green. And this is one of the coins where I lost a lot of money on before as well, before I realized that, right? In the 60s, 60 to $1 range a little bit, went lower there. But after I realized that this is not a coin that you can expect to come down when you see 85 RSI on a 5-minute chart or 15. It's the kind of coin that will hover in 80 to 90 RSI, 5 to 15-minute zones for a really long time, you know. Okay, maybe not that high, but in the 5-minute zone, I've seen it at 90, 92, 95 RSIs. That is how bullish this coin is in general. And I was getting very frustrated with it when I was shorting it, like in the earlier under dollar ranges, because it just would not ever go down. And it was like, whoa, I'm actually hitting my stop loss right now. And those are the early days of EOS, but you learn a lot of characteristics about her, right? Sorry to assign gender, but you learn a lot of characteristics about the coin that you're trading. And the thing that you learn the most about EOS is that during an uptrend, do not dare short this coin and try to scalp it for a small gain here and there, because it's not gonna happen, guys, if you're expecting a wick or a dump, okay? When there's a consensus, there's one way or the other. When there's consensus to go down, guys, and people take profit and people are getting liquidated and stop losses are triggered, then it goes down. So those are my targets for EOS, guys. My target for EOS is a minimum of $19.18 and a second target of $26.64. So thanks, guys. Take it easy. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say, guys, if you really enjoy my videos, please upvote it on steemit. I love steemit. You guys know how I feel about steemit. There's a written blog version on there as well. And if you guys absolutely love me, and you know, who doesn't love me? Nobody loves me, actually. Only my mom does. Actually, my dog loves me. My dog loves me quite a bit. My dog, she licks me all the time. She's just there to get my food. Yeah, you guys are welcome to like and subscribe and share. And I post a lot of goodies as well on Twitter. So please follow me there. And I try to call out over, I don't like the word call out, but I do call out signs of it being oversold or overbought, etc. like that, just to kind of have more intel and eyes in the field, right? And if you guys especially loved it, you know my dog Luna, she's got her own cryptocurrency piggy bank there. And you guys are welcome to donate it. I keep it up because people have asked for it before, because everybody knows my dog's an alcoholic, and she's got a problem with like tequila and vodka. And yeah, everybody just wants to contribute to her getting more Patron. So you guys are welcome to as well. On that, I will see you guys later. We are in a very bullish zone, okay? I'm just letting you guys know long-term targets. Entries and exits is really up to you guys. That is really up to you guys to time it, but we're already entering a very bullish zone. Look at the daily chart, guys. Look at the daily. Jeez. Man, that is just woo, that uptrend right now. Okay, see you guys later. Take it easy.